If you're here to offer me a job, I'm not interested, right? Maybe that... I'm a realist. It was war, after all. And even though the Republic destroyed my people, the leaders of the Armada were Revan and Malak. So I hate this. And with this, or anything... Now, normally I'd charge... Not really. I've got no interest in the Selkath, other than the fact that they're charging me an exorbitant amount to stay in this. The Iridorian over there. I'm a realist. It was war after all. They ain't saying, but the price is sure right.
I have no desire to speak to you. I know you have links to the Republic. I have no desire to speak to you. I know you have...
Are you hiring for the Republic or the Sith? Then why are you wasting my time? There's big money to be made here. I can't risk missing a job offer because I'm yapping with you.
You're new around here, aren't you? My name's Duan. Care to buy a Sith girl a drink? That is, unless you're one of those simpering Republic soldiers. Well, some of the soldiers like to go and bet on the swoops on their day off, but this planet is bad enough without mingling with the locals. It isn't easy here, you know. Not with all the Republic soldiers walking the streets while we sit and do absolutely nothing. Malak should send a fleet in and conquer this whole sector, Kolto or no. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm just here to have a couple of drinks and try to unwind, you know? You some kind of historian or something? You should forget about the past, look towards the future. That's why I joined the Sith. The Republic is old news. And then I get stuck on Manan, the worst post in the galaxy. It isn't easy here, you know. Not with all the Republic soldiers but I don't really want to talk about that right now. We Sith are interested in a lot of things. If you're smart, you'll stay out of Sith business. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm just here to have a couple of drinks and try to unwind. Oh, I get it. I get a little bit wild, and you want to hold it against me. Come on, what's the matter? Afraid I'll drink you under the table? Barkeep, bring me another round. Oh, it's you again. Didn't think I'd see you around here. I probably should cut back on the drinking, but it's a good way to relax. There's a lot of tension here on Milan, but I don't really want to talk about that right now. Oh, come on.
I have no desire to...
Oh, you're back. You going to stick around this time? Or did I offend you? I probably should cut back on the drinking, but it's a good way to relax. But I don't really want to talk about that right now. We Sith are interested in lots of stuff. But I don't really want to talk about it. Hey, but...
I don't know how much longer I can stay on this world.
I hope you're here to play some Pazak. I'd prefer to make my credit. Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you add... You don't waste... I might know a little bit about this, but telling you might put my life at risk. And that don't come cheap. See, I can give you a leg up on investigating what the Sith are up to. But it'll cost you 200 credits. Yes, I suppose I do. I want to tell you everything I know. I don't know what the Sith are actually up to, but I know who could tell you. The Iridorian mercenary. Spends all day in the mercenary enclave, and everyone gives him a wide berth. The Sith were cozying up to him real good a while ago. Go speak to him about this. But be careful. Them Iridorians have a nasty reputation. That's all I know. You want any more info on the Sith and their schemes? Go talk to the Iridorian. You done wasting my time now, or you got some more questions? So clear.
I am not for hire. Perhaps the Mandalorian or the Ajani can help you, though they lack the stomach for certain jobs. Ask whatever you wish, though you... Perhaps, but an Iridorian has no friends, though I feel a strange kinship with you. You do not seem like the others of this world. Even the Sith here do not understand our kind. The Sith sought to buy my loyalty with credits, as if wealth could somehow quench my burning bloodlust. They would have been better off hiring a Ajani for the errands they had me running. The task paid well, but was boring, and beneath me. I was told to lure the Selkath youth to the Sith embassy. Nothing more. I lied, I threatened, I promised, and I brought the most promising youth of the fish people to the Sith.
So you brought these youths to the Sith. And then what did you do to them?
And there I left them. To what purpose I neither know nor care. Perhaps when the Sith learn I have betrayed their secret, they will try to kill me. I would welcome the excitement.
I bet they're twisting the minds of those Selkath youth, trying to trick them into joining the Sith.
Is there more you would ask of me, human? Perhaps you should ask them. The Republic prefers not to deal with my kind, though maybe they need an Iridorian to finish the job. The mercenaries they hire must be failing, as they are never heard from again. That is all I know. Is there more you wish to ask? Yes, I'm not surprised.
I'm in the middle of a Republic recruiting drive right now. I need to hire these mercenaries before they sign up with the Sith. In case you hadn't noticed, there's a war on. If we don't hire these mercs, the Sith will. Now excuse me. I have to continue my recruitments.
There's a lot of credits to be made in the Republic in times like these, if we survive.
Hear there's going to be a heavy meteor shower in the Coruscant system this year. Last time this was... I can't stop to talk to tourists. I'm on Kolto packing duty. I have to stop talking to Sith. They make me want to break so many laws just because for those damn SOCAF neutrality laws. I suppose you're right. You probably... Well, as long as the Sith stay out of my way.
This entrance to the Sith Embassy has been closed temporarily due to a maintenance failure. The main entrance to the embassy will reopen when the problem has been fixed. The secondary external entrance is reserved for Sith personnel only and is not to be used. Those with legitimate business with the Sith should return when the repairs are complete. This entrance to... What? How did you... This unit has no knowledge. Those with legitimate business...
Hey, Tyber, how's it going?
Ah, glad to hear it.
Hey, this stuff's all for the Republic Embassy, so can you just bill it to them? Now I gotta get back to my post at the Republic.
Yes, certainly you must have heard of the destruction of Taris. It's your honorable friends that committed that atrocity.
win.
How did you get in here? Wait, I recognize you. Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you. As you wish, my eager apprentices. We shall remove this thorn from Malak's side once and for all.
Just die already!
Let's make this quick. The Force fights with me.
I'll show you.
You've been saved from more than you know. Given time, the Sith would have turned you fully to the dark side, and you would have betrayed your... I can understand why you're doing this, but surely it can't be that hard to prove the evil of the dark side, can it? You've been saved from more than you know. Given time, the Sith would have turned you fully to the dark side, and you would have betrayed your world gladly.
This entrance to the Sith Empire. Though
Have you managed to retrieve the data from our droid in the Sith base? Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manan is the sole source of Kolto, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes Kolto exports, but a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manan anyway, so we made a deal. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest Kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction, an ancient building or artifact. possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith. And now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Kolto packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
Chua Pengti, Yun Patisa. Tong Hitwama Aki Tukotune, Potong Hitwama Ji Aki Tukotu, Tong Padokun, Nonek, Chiwi Ait Diskadosoki, Kopa Pononakachu, Labora na Winki Smaktoma, Kuyami Kyusku Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Uchua Benki Topan Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na Chupornibo Kun Muli Ras Ni Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Agi Unko Tune Chuna Muli Ra Tangi Wama Jiko Na Tangi Wama Aki Unko Tune Kotangi Wama Ji Aki Unko Tune Tongpa no Kun Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na Chupornibo Kun Muli Ras Ni Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Uchua Penki Topa no Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Uchua Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Uchua Penki Topa no Otobo Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Ki Muli Ra Kun King Kimba no Kun Nik Lota Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chita Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Ki Muli Ra Kun King Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Agi Ukotune Chuna Muli Ra Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na Chupornibo Kun Muli Ras Nimo Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Agi Ukotune Chuna Muli Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha Ki Muli Ra Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Kyusku Chitanai Uchua Penki Topa no Otobokas Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune Kotongi Wama Ji Aki Ukotu Tongpa no Kun Nonek Jiska no Soki Kopa Bono Nakachu Labora na Winki Smaktoma Kuyami Tongi Wama Aki Ukotune ก็ต้องที่ว่ามาจีอากิก็ตุต้องปาดคุณนอนนะชีวิตไอตากาชองจิจากีนุลิราดิสกาโดโซกิก็ปาบนานาคาจูลาโบรานาวินกีสนักตมาคุยามีจูสกูจิจาไนอุจูอาเป็นต้องที่ว่ามาอากิก็ตุเนี่ยก็ต้องที่ว่ามาจีอากิก็ตุต้องปาดคุณนอนนะชีวิตไอตากาชองจิจาDisca do soki, kopa bono nakachu, labora na winki smak toma, kuyami jusku chitanai, uchua tong hitwama aki inko tune, kotong hitwama ji aki inko tu, tong padokun, nonne, chiwi.
How may I be of assistance to you, Adon? What is it you would like to speak to me about? After my father died, my mother was left to support me alone. A single non-human woman, living in one of the worst, most violent slums on Taris. It was not easy for her. When my father was killed, it seemed that something in her began to die as well. She worked as hard as she was able. But over time, she began to waste away. I later learned that she was unable to get enough money to feed both of us, and had to start borrowing from the exchange, a band of cutthroats and smugglers. But even that was not enough. She hid what she was doing from me. She gave most of her food to me so that I would be strong, but she herself was suffering deeply from it. In the end, she could go on no longer, and collapsed at the cantina where she worked one day. She never recovered. There was nothing really that I could do for her. She left me no money, and no doctor would see her without being paid first. I sat by her bed for days as she lay there dying. I never want that to happen to someone I care about ever again. But there was still the money she had borrowed. She had never paid it back and made no provisions for her death. You must understand. The exchange is brutal. They care nothing for the life of a sentient being. They are the major suppliers of slaves on Taris. They thought it would be appropriate that, with my mother owing them money, the debt should be passed on to me. And with no way to pay, they took me by force. You have no idea what it is like to be bound like a beast and treated as such. It was the worst time of my life. They treated me like livestock. They were waiting for a buyer to give them some credit for me when the Jedi came to fight the Mandalorians. The Jedi could not abide by what they saw there, and drove the exchange from the face of the world, freeing those of us imprisoned there. But the Jedi soon left to fight their war, and I was left with the throne. I swore that I would become a Jedi. As soon as I had enough money to do it, I bought passage on a freighter headed for Dantooine. We both know what has happened since then. I am grateful to you for having given me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, rather than become a tyrant. Someday, I may make it up to you. But for now, let us keep on the task at hand.
Yeah, what do you want?
The war we had with the Republic was supposed to be the most glorious battle in our history. But it was a very costly one. I guess we didn't think of how much we could lose in it. There weren't many of us after that last battle. Mandalore himself was killed at the hands of the Jedi Revan. The best of us could not defeat him. After that last battle, those of us that survived were stripped of our weapons, our armor, and our basilisks. Revan's forces destroyed them while we were forced to watch. Those who hadn't fled earlier were left with nothing to call their own. No weapons, no armor, only the honor of having fought in the battle we just lost. For many, this was not enough. While the rest of us were sent into exile on the Outer Rim, they tried to relive the old days, raiding worlds. They're nothing more than bandits now. Yeah, I came to Taris. And forcing for Davik was not stimulating. The gangs on Taris and Davik's rivals were trash. They give no thrill in battle, no honor or glory in defeating them. It was like stepping on bugs. I sought worthy challenges, but the best that Taris could offer were nothing to me. But I think now, with you, I may finally find opponents worth fighting. Maybe later I'll tell you more about what it was like to work for Davik. For now, though, We should get on with our lives. Is there something else you want to know? The water world's never had much of an appeal for us to conquer. They may put up a good fight in their own environment. No match for us, of course. But they don't really have anything of value either. The thing this world is good for is a substance known as Kolto. Kolto is the single best healing substance in the galaxy. But the Mandalore are not as weak and fragile as your Republic and Sith warriors. When we enter a battle, we carry weapons powerful enough to pulverize cities. Both in our wars and in our own personal combats, there are no survivors. So Kolto does not hold the appeal it does for your peoples. You have anything else you want? Your choice.
Got something on your mind? You got yourself a fast little ship? I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. Closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an Uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful. Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of a synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing? I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha. Oh, very funny. Is it my fault that some people are so easily annoyed? Like impatient little children with blasters. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The Force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was. Well, it's not so much a hurricane as a slight breeze. But that doesn't mean anything. Destiny is sometimes in the eye of the beholder. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall. I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring. Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled up to the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand. Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you probably expect there. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too. Or could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing. Everyone panics and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recover. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you? Well, that's the ingratitude of youth here. I relate an exciting tale, and do I get thanked for it? No, no. It's all me. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoot! Got something on your mind? What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen... The man could have changed a lot in that span of time. He was a good man. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can.
How can I help? Manaan is a water world inhabited by an aquatic race known as the Selkath. Their only surface city and spaceport is called Otto. It is unique in that the Selkath are firm in their neutrality. They are neither part of the Republic nor controlled by the Sith, and they wish to keep it that way. You have been patient with me, haven't you? I suppose you deserve an answer. But you have to understand how difficult this is for me to say. With all my training, I should be able to control myself better than this. But you're not like anything I expected. You're not like any man I've ever met before. I find myself watching you when I don't mean to. I'm thinking about you when I don't want to. It isn't supposed to be like this. How can I help? Every time I try to call on all my teachings to calm myself, they fail me. You have such power, such passion. I don't know if it's due to the bond between us, but I'm drawn to you. The Force is a part of you, as is your power. But that's not what attracted me to you. It's more than that. Maybe it's the bond we share. It gives us a certain intimacy. If I could, I would return to Dantooine. I need to be away from this bond of ours. I need to weaken it. I need to be anywhere but near you. But Malak must be stopped. My own feelings are nothing when compared to that. Yet I know this could affect the sake of our mission if it's not resolved. I can't let that happen. What I've been trying to tell you is that I've reached a decision, but this is not the proper place for this discussion. I think we should have some privacy for this. We can talk about this the next time we return to the Ebon Hawk. Jolee, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolee. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes. I want to stop Malak as much as anyone, but I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures. Belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you are quite adamant. No doubt you have ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn. but I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group, with a lightsaber and force powers.
I'm here.
Jolie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why, whatever could be the matter, my dear?
Oh, it's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Alora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Alora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry, somehow. Trying to steal the Kolto, perhaps? An odd thing for the Republic to do, no?
If it weren't for the Republic, one day.
I suppose your Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious. Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor? Simply because it was real does not mean Sunry would have overlooked it being in Elas's hand. So nice to meet an impartial judge. You said it, not I.
Almost seems they do wish to conquer everything and will not stop at Manon. Why the Salkath believe themselves invulnerable, I have no idea.
When I get out of here, you're dead! I'll gut your fishy little corpse, cut off your head, and bathe in your blood!
Jolie, what are you doing here? Allura sent me, Summary. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. So I thought. But the Selkath seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed. Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. Selkath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offloaders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off investigating the Sith themselves. Maybe you could find some proof they planted evidence to frame me. Though that might mean figuring out a way into the Sith embassy. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but It's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith when I turned Alessa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alessa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you! Further, they say they found my heroes crossed at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Selkath, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial. Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure. Very well. Once you've gotten enough evidence... When I get out of...